Happy Kids Journey with Starry Fairy.
Hey little listeners, enjoy the 20 minutes children's stories and have fun. Remember to subscribe, share and like.
Shelley and Bart complement each other. Once upon a time, in a valley filled with wildflowers and babbling brooks, lived a fluffy sheep named Shelley. Shelley had the softest wool, the brightest smile, and a heart full of kindness. Her best friend was Bart, a little brown bear with a gentle spirit, but a bit of a grumpy frown. One sunny morning, Shelley and Bart were playing in their favorite meadow. Shelley skipped through the tall grass, weaving a daisy crown for herself. She looked like a fluffy princess with a crown of white and yellow. "Bart, look, I made a beautiful crown," Shelley called out, her voice bubbly with excitement. Bart lumbered over, his big paws leaving deep prints in the soft ground. He looked at Shelley's daisy crown, his frown deepening. "It's just flowers," he mumbled, looking away. Shelley's smile faltered a little. "But don't you think the daisies look pretty together?" Bart shrugged. "They're just flowers." Shelley tilted her head, feeling a bit sad. She loved making things and showing them to Bart, but he never seemed very impressed. Suddenly, an idea popped into Shelley's head. She skipped over to Bart and looked up at his big, brown eyes. "Bart," she said, her voice soft, "your fur is the most beautiful shade of brown I've ever seen. It looks like rich, melted chocolate." Bart blinked, surprised. No one had ever complimented him on his fur before. He looked down at his paws, a small smile tugging at the corners of his grumpy frown. Shelley continued, "And your big paws are so strong. You can climb the tallest trees and carry all sorts of things." Bart couldn't help but grin. He felt a warm fuzziness spreading through him. It felt nice to hear someone appreciate his strengths. "See, Bart," Shelley said with a smile. "Everyone has something special about them. Maybe your favorite things aren't the same as mine, but they're still amazing." Bart sat down, his frown completely gone. He looked at Shelley's daisy crown with new eyes. The flowers weren't just flowers anymore. They were a pretty creation made by his kind and thoughtful friend. "Your crown is pretty cool, Shelley," he admitted shyly. "The daisies look happy together, just like you make me happy." Shelley beamed. She realized that kind words were like sunshine. They could melt away grumpiness and spread joy. From that day on, Shelley and Bart always made sure to compliment each other. They learned that noticing and appreciating the good things in others made their friendship even stronger. As the sun started to set, painting the sky with streaks of orange and purple, Shelley and Bart snuggled up together under a big oak tree. They knew that, even though they were different, they were perfect friends for each other. Little listeners, just like Shelley, kindness can bloom anywhere, even in the simplest of gestures. Compliments, like sunshine, can brighten someone's day and make them feel special. Remember, everyone has something wonderful about them, just like Bart's strong paws and Shelley's creative spirit. So next time you see something you admire, share a kind word. It might just melt away grumpiness and blossom a beautiful friendship, just like the one between Shelley and Bart. Remember to like and subscribe. The grateful little otters learned to share. In a cozy little village, nestled between rolling hills and a babbling brook, lived a family of otters. There was Mama Otter, Papa Otter, and their 3 energetic pups, Milo, the curious one, Layla, the playful one, and Dino, the little one who always wanted to be included. One sunny afternoon, the otter pups were splashing around in the cool water of the brook. They chased each other, nipped playfully at bubbles, and practiced their diving skills. Milo, ever the explorer, swam further upstream than usual. He peeked under a flat rock and gasped. There, nestled amongst the pebbles, were the most beautiful, shimmering pearls he had ever seen. Milo hurried back to his siblings, his voice bubbling with excitement. "Look what I found," he exclaimed, showing them the handful of pearls. Layla and Dino squealed with delight. The pearls were all different sizes and colors. Some were as white as snow, some shimmered pink, and others glowed a mysterious green. The otter pups spent the rest of the afternoon playing with their newfound treasures. They built pearl castles, decorated each other with the prettiest ones, and bragged about their discovery to every firefly and fish they came across. When the sun began to set, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, Mama Otter called her pups home. As they snuggled together in their cozy burrow, Lily spoke up, her voice thoughtful. "These pearls are so beautiful, Milo. Thank you for finding them for us." Milo beamed. "They're welcome, Layla. But you know what? I think the best part of today wasn't finding the pearls. It was playing with you both and seeing the joy on your faces." Dino, who had been clutching a particularly green pearl, looked up with wide eyes. "You mean we don't have to keep them?" Milo and Layla exchanged smiles. "We can share them with the other otters in the village," Layla suggested. "Imagine how happy they'll be." The next day, the otter pups gathered all the villagers by the brook. They proudly presented their collection of pearls, explaining how much joy finding them had brought. One by one, they handed out the pearls, watching as their friends' faces lit up with gratitude. That night, snuggled together in their burrow, the otter pups felt a warmth that had nothing to do with the soft fur around them. They realized that giving away their treasures had brought them more happiness than keeping them all to themselves. From that day on, the otter pups never forgot the valuable lesson they learned. True happiness comes not from what we have, but from the joy we share with others. And so, whenever they found something special, they knew exactly what to do. Share it with their loved ones and spread gratitude around. Little listeners, just like the otter pups in our story, you too can learn the valuable lesson they discovered about the true meaning of happiness. When you share your treasures, be it toys, stories, or kind words, with those around you, you'll find that your heart will be filled with warmth and joy. The world becomes a more beautiful place when we share our gifts with others. So remember, true happiness comes not from what we have, but from the joy we share with others. Remember to like and subscribe.
Mary and Thomas loved their dog. The afternoon sun dipped honey onto the backyard as Thomas and Mary bounced with excitement. Today was the day. Their parents had finally agreed to let them get a dog. Not just any dog, but a floppy-eared, tail-wagging puppy named Zeus. Zeus arrived in a flurry of wet kisses and clumsy paws. His brown eyes shone with curiosity, and his little pink tongue lopped out in a never-ending smile. Thomas and Mary were smitten. They spent the rest of the day chasing him in the grass, giggling as he tumbled over his own floppy ears. But as bedtime approached, a worried frown creased Mary's forehead. "What about Zeus?" she asked. "Where will he sleep?" Thomas scratched his chin, remembering something their parents had said. "Dogs need a cozy bed, just like us," he explained. Together, they dug out an old laundry basket, lined it with a soft blanket, and placed it in a quiet corner of the living room. Zeus sniffed it curiously before curling up with a contented sigh. The next morning, Mary rushed downstairs, eager to greet their new furry friend. But Zeus looked listless. His tail thumped a slow beat on the floor, and his brown eyes held a pleading look. "Oh no," fretted Mary. "He doesn't seem happy." Their dad entered the room, a gentle smile on his face. "Seems like Zeus might be thirsty," he said, kneeling down. He filled a bowl with fresh water and placed it near Zeus's bed. With a grateful slurp, Zeus lapped up the water, his tail wagging faster. "Dogs need fresh water all the time, just like we do," their dad explained. "And after a good night's sleep, they love a good walk." That afternoon, Thomas and Mary took Zeus on his first adventure around the block. The little puppy sniffed every blade of grass with enthusiasm, his tail wagging like a metronome set to "happy." Later, as Zeus munched on his kibble dinner, their mom knelt down. "Dogs need healthy food to be strong," she said, showing them the bag of dog food. "And after dinner, it's playtime." The next few days flew by in a flurry of walks, cuddles, and fetch games. Thomas and Mary learned all about taking care of Zeus. They kept his water bowl full, filled his food dish twice a day, and brushed his soft fur every morning. They even learned a secret handshake, a scratch behind the ears followed by a gentle rub on the belly, that always sent Zeus into fits of happy wiggles. One night, tucked into their beds, Zeus curled up at the foot of Mary's bed, a soft rumble in his chest. "He's happy now, isn't he?" Thomas whispered, a smile in his voice. Mary nodded, her hand resting on Zeus's warm fur. "He's part of the family now," she whispered back. "And we learned how to make him happy." From that day on, Thomas and Mary continued to learn more about dog care, from basic commands to fun tricks. Zeus, in turn, showered them with unconditional love and sloppy, wet kisses. He was more than just a pet. He was their best friend, their furry shadow, a constant reminder that taking care of someone, even a playful puppy, brought immense joy. Little listeners, puppies are playful and bring tons of love, but taking care of them is a big job. Just like Thomas and Mary, you can be amazing pet owners. Remember, happy puppies need a few key things: fresh water every day, yummy food twice a day, regular walks and playtime, gentle brushing to keep their fur soft, and most importantly, all the love and cuddles you can share. And don't forget to like and subscribe.
What's the occupation in your school? Zeus, a bouncy beagle, and Pip, a quick-witted Jack Russell Terrier, trotted excitedly through the halls of the Happy Animal Academy. Today wasn't just any day. It was the day they were presenting their school paper on all the amazing jobs that kept their academy running. Zeus, with his floppy ears flapping in the breeze, clutched their notebook proudly. Pip, ever the organized one, bounced beside him, her tail wagging a happy rhythm. Their first stop was the grand office of Mrs. Marigold, the school principal. Her fur gleamed like spun silver, and her eyes held a warm wisdom. "Good morning, Mrs. Marigold." Zeus barked enthusiastically. Pip, ever polite, added, "We're here to learn about your job for our school paper." Mrs. Marigold chuckled, shaking her woolly fur proudly. Wonderful. As the principal, I oversee the entire academy. I make sure the teachers have everything they need, the schedule runs smoothly, and every pup feels safe and happy to learn. Zeus tilted his head. "So you're like the captain, making sure everything goes smoothly?" Mrs. Marigold laughed. "Exactly, Zeus. Now, off you go. There are many more important jobs to discover." Next, they scurried down the hall, their noses twitching with excitement. They found Dr. Hop, a kind-faced white rabbit, meticulously examining a thermometer. "Dr. Hop," Pip yipped politely, "we're here to learn about being a school doctor." Dr. Hop smiled warmly. Welcome. I keep everyone healthy and fit. I check for bumps and bruises, make sure vaccinations are up to date, and help any pup feeling under the weather. Zeus wagged his tail, remembering the time Dr. Hop had soothed his sore paw after a particularly rambunctious game of fetch. "So you're like a super doctor, making sure everyone is healthy enough to learn new tricks?" Zeus barked. Dr. Hop ruffled Zeus's fur. "Precisely. Now, remember, a healthy pup is a happy pup." The day continued in a whirlwind of discoveries. They met Mr. Simba, a focused lion, who explained his job as a security guard. His mane was shimmering under the sun, and his eyes held a watchful glint. "Mr. Simba," Pip asked, "what does being a security guard entail?" Mr. Simba straightened his posture, a sense of pride radiating from him. "My job is to keep everyone at the academy safe. I patrol the grounds regularly, making sure no one unauthorized enters. I also keep a watchful eye during playtime and walks, ensuring no pup gets lost or hurt." Zeus, who sometimes got a little too enthusiastic during playtime, understood the importance of Mr. Simba's role. "So you're kind of a safety hero, keeping everyone safe and sound?" Mr. Simba smiled. "Exactly, Zeus. It's a big responsibility, but I love making sure all my fellow pups feel secure and happy." By the end of the day, their notebook overflowed with paw prints and insightful scribbles. Back in their classroom, Zeus and Pip, with the help of their teacher, Miss Gator, transformed their notes into a colorful and informative school paper. Finally, the day arrived. Zeus and Pip, beaming with pride, distributed their paper to their classmates. As their friends read about the teachers, the doctor, the security guard, and all the other important roles within the academy, a sense of gratitude filled the room. They realized how much work went on behind the scenes to make their school such a fun and safe place to learn. As the last paper was handed out, Zeus and Pip exchanged a happy glance. They may not have been sure what they wanted to be when they grew up, but they knew this. Every job at the Happy Animal Academy was awesome and important. Hey friends, have you ever wondered who keeps our school running? It's not just the teachers. Many people have important jobs at school. The principal helps make sure everything works smoothly, just like a captain on a ship. The doctor keeps you healthy when you get a scrape, and the security guard makes sure you're safe all day long. There are lots of other helpers too. We'll learn more about all their cool jobs next time. Remember to like and subscribe.